Today I am reviewing Hartford Stage's production of The Hot Wing King, written by Katori Hall, directed by Christopher D. Betts, and running through March 24th at Hartford Stage at 50 Church Street in Hartford, Connecticut. Help me feed my own hot wing addiction by being a patron over on my Patreon page. Like, seriously, I love hot wings, and the price of wings are ridiculous. Anyway, you can support my channel and my classic cinema podcast, Yesterday's Matinee, for as little as $1 on my Patreon page, and you can find a link in the description. If you skipped over my self-promotional paragraph, I'll reemphasize I love hot wings, and I love shows that celebrate food, so Katori Hall and Hartford Stage had me at the play's title before I even knew what the play was about. Thankfully, the actual play is just as delicious as the food it is founded upon. Winner of the 2021 Pulitzer Prize, The Hot Wing King follows two couples in Memphis, Tennessee, as they prepare together to compete in a hot wing competition. The foursome, led by Cordell, played by Bjorn DuPaty, call themselves the New Wing Order. With him is his pragmatic partner Dwayne, played by Calvin M. Thompson, the flamboyant Isom, played by Israel Arid Ford, and Isom's partner, Big Charles, played by Postell Pringle, who is more interested in the Memphis Grizzlies game than cooking wings. Things start to go sideways when Dwayne's nephew Everett, or EJ, played by Marcus Gladney Jr., arrives looking for a place to stay. EJ's mother, who was mentally ill, was killed by police during a wellness check, and EJ's father, TJ, played by Alphonso Walker Jr., only knows how to raise his kid through stereotypical street rules, often leaving the two at threats of eviction or arrest. It's inconvenient timing, as Cordell is more focused on the competition than wanting to deal with domestic issues. Over the course of the play, issues like homophobia, sexual awakening, familial obligation, and guilt from neglect to those obligations all come into play, as Cordell and Dwayne come into conflict with each other as to who they are as a couple and what to do with EJ and TJ. At first blush, this may seem as a lot to tether together for what is mostly a comedy, but Katori Hall has significantly matured as a writer over the years, since her first play, the 2009 The Mountaintop. Hall has assembled an array of diverse characters for the Hot Wing King, who mostly have significant depth to them. The play does have its stereotypes, like the flamboyant boyish Isom and the do-rag-draped thuggish TJ, but the characters are fleshed out beyond the initial image we see of them. Even though Isom and Big Charles tend to be there more for comedic relief than emotional depth, Israel and Calvin do give the duo a lot of heart and color, fleshing out the roles beyond their dialogue. It's like Hall's script and, in turn, Christopher D. Betts' direction and the design team, especially Jahise LeBouef's costume design, are employed to set up potential audience prejudices with the intention of breaking through those prejudices by playing out deeper emotional truths behind them. Considering Hartford Stage's predominantly older white audience, I wouldn't be surprised if there were some prejudicial members of the audience that did and will get challenged over the course of the show's run, and I am in full support of challenging said audiences. With that, I commend Katori Hall, Christopher D. Betts, and the Hartford Stage team. I love Emmie Finckel's two-floor set design with the kitchen on the ground floor and a bedroom above. Everything has a proper feeling of depth and dimension, though the actors occasionally aren't paying attention to their spatial awareness, as there is the occasional waving about of an arm that would have them sticking it through a wall and into the outside of the house. There is a bit of drag in the first act of The Hot Wing King. We spend a significant amount of time with Cordell, Isom, Big Charles, and Dwayne focusing on the upcoming hot wing competition without really addressing what the play ultimately comes to be about, which is the conflict between Cordell and Dwayne regarding EJ and TJ. We're about 45 minutes, if not more, into the play before that conflict really starts to take shape. I would have liked some of that conflict to move forward, removing the listlessness that exists through much of the first act as we wait for some kind of real conflict to arise. The performances are all great. I particularly like Marcus Gladney Jr. as EJ and the different dynamics he's built with the different characters. As a young man with a wide host of adult male mentors, Bjorn DuPaty and Calvin M. Thompson keep the relationship between Cordell and Dwayne on a delicate tightrope throughout, showing the disappointments each have in each other while still holding a love for each other that struggles to keep its balance. Though a little overlong in the first act, The Hot Wing King is a great comedy with a lot of depth and heart to it, addressing universal family issues of trust, loyalty, and nurturing. There's some great over-the-top comedic moments, particularly with an accidental overdose of seasoning that gets the audience gasping. and some serious matters addressed to give the play flavor. The Hot Wing King zings with life and is another great show for what is shaping up to be one of the best seasons in years for Hartford Stage. But I'm only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you'd like to see the Hot Wing King, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get tickets. Also in the description is a link to my Patreon page. Don't forget to visit that as well. You can also support my channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and click the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be the Broadway revival of Doubt. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.